an example of skipped stitches. Let's go over some ways to troubleshoot this and fix it for your next project. Check that your needle is straight and not bent. You may need to replace the needle. Check that your bobbin is installed properly. Be sure that your thread running down is also installed properly. Rethread as needed. Try stitching on a scrap piece of fabric. If you find that at the beginning of your project you get a bundle of threads like this, which I like to call a bird's nest, it's usually because your bobbin thread or your top thread was not pulled back behind your presser foot as you began to sew. Be sure that these threads are loose and behind the presser foot before starting. If you're having a tension issue where too much of the top thread, for my example the blue thread, is coming through to the back, then you need to adjust the tension. I'm going to raise my tension and try sewing again. Here is an example of good tension. Our threads are equal on the top and on the bottom of our stitches.
If your fabric is tunneling or the bobbin thread is showing on the front, lower your tension. Use caution if your machine ever does anything like this. Stop, turn off your machine. Raise the needle and lift the presser foot. You'll then be able to gently remove the fabric and remove any buildup thread that's underneath the fabric and the needle plate.
It's always a good idea to have a scrap piece of fabric of your garment that you're working on nearby to test stitches. This will help you make sure the tension is correct and that your stitches are the width and length that you like before stitching on your actual garment. Here are some best practices to keep your sewing machine running smoothly. Make sure your upper thread and bobbin are threaded correctly. Change your needle every 6 to 8 hours of sewing. Never sew with a bent or damaged needle. Be sure to use the correct bobbin in your machine. Check your manual for what type is needed. Have your machine professionally cleaned and serviced regularly. Lightly brush the bobbin case and needle area often. Don't use oil in your machine unless your machine manual says to do so. Most modern home sewing machines do not need to be oiled. Don't use canned air in your sewing machine. Keep a piece of scrap fabric nearby to test stitches and troubleshoot. Remove pins as you sew to protect your needle and feed dogs from damage.